we are delighted to see all of your smiling faces. Yes, please go. SaiU University is closer to the mic. Okay. If somebody, well, I was going to say, if you cannot hear me in the back, raise your hand, but then you wouldn't know to raise your hand. So, SaiU University is a magnificent institution founded at a critical time in this country. There is a widespread belief that higher education has become stale and is not preparing this country's huge youth population. We all know the numbers, largest youth in the world, not preparing them for the future. We are preparing them for the past, okay? And so we are a future-oriented university. Now we cannot see the future, but there is some consensus that's built up in the community of thought leaders who are moving forward the new universities coming up in India, that cognitive skills like critical thinking, analytical thinking, creativity, imagination, and communication are as important as knowledge. Now, you all probably know the quote of Einstein. Now, there are many, Einstein is quoted to have said many things which he didn't actually say, but he actually did say that imagination is more important than knowledge. I would not go that far. I would say that our traditional curriculum has been focused on knowledge, but knowledge is what we know. The future requires that we also imagine how to go beyond that knowledge, whether it's scientific imagination, artistic, in terms of entrepreneurship. All of that involves imagination. We have a slogan at SAI, spark the imagination and liberate the mind. The liberate the mind is not a call for a revolution. It's simply to say liberate the mind from the silos of knowledge, of subjects. Subjects are important. They've provided a lot of discipline, but we also encourage students to cross the boundaries of subjects, to be multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and now the new popular term is transdisciplinary. And I think you'll find that the faculty, we have assembled a very, very energetic, future-oriented faculty who talk to each other across subjects, and so they represent that philosophy. In the course of today, we're going to introduce our founder and chancellor, Mr. K.V. Ramani. I'll do that in a minute, who will address you. We owe the creation of the university to Mr. Ramani. I will also introduce the faculty. And I'm also going to call upon our current students who've completed their first year, for each of you to just say a few words about what made your SAI experience special. You're in touch with your friends who go to other universities and institutes. And what made SAI special for you? Speak from the heart, just a few sentences. And we'll go from there. So I will also introduce our senior staff, the directors who lead the various departments that make the institution one. And we'll do that in a kind of a free-flowing manner. Let me start first by introducing the man who put this in motion, Mr. K.V. Ramani. You probably know a lot about his bio already. I will just mention a few things. In the 1980s, 1990s, a core group of technology entrepreneurs took some risks leaps of imagination to make India the software superpower today. And that has transformed India's economy. At that time, they dealt with all kinds of obstacles, as you know, bureaucratic obstacles. Mr. Ramani talks about how difficult it was for him to even purchase and import a computer. And yet, they did these things. And as you know, we have some others on our board, our governing board, who also were pioneers from that time. And Mr. Ramani, in the course of his career as an IT leader, co-founded NASCOM, which he may want to talk about, which brought that profession together and collectively, even though they were competitors, pushed to create an ecosystem in which India has been able to become the undisputed software power of the world, exporting that. He has sold his companies and devoted himself to philanthropy, which you need to recognize how rare that is in India. We've heard of, Bill Gates saying, "I'm going to give away all my money. Of course, I'm going to take care of my family, but you don't need $50 billion to take care of your family." And others have followed suit. Well, Mr. Ramani is doing the same thing. He is pledged to give away, for philanthropic purposes, a majority, significant, I would say most, of his hard-earned wealth. And the recipients of the philanthropy have included hospitals. They've included students who needed scholarships to attend schools and others. During the pandemic, he started an oxygen center. And of course, SaiU University is the culmination of his philanthropic efforts, which is no easy task to start a new university. There are roadblocks, there are speed bumps, there are obstacles. And those of you who are joining us, thank you for overcoming those obstacles together. I personally much prefer to be part of something new, even though there are obstacles in the way, because we can create it from the start. If you come into a university or any organization that's already well established, where everything is running perfectly, that's fine, the trains will run on time, but you're not going to be able to get to any new, to be a pioneer. But you all have shown up, so I welcome you all as co-pioneers to join us in this adventure. So let me, without further ado, introduce our founder, Chancellor, Mr. K.V. Ramani.